Welcome to a special Papa's Perspective of the Giants Huddle podcast, presented by Bob's Discount Furniture. Get Bob's Discount at the official furniture store and mattress partner of the New York Giants. Shop in store or at mybobs.com. Well, we're going to take you back in time, especially with the Giants playing the Minnesota Vikings in the postseason. So let's go back to the 93 season when the Giants beat the Vikings at Giants Stadium, and Rodney Hampton had himself a day. He joins us here on the podcast. Rodney, thanks for a couple minutes. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on as well. So it's Dan Reeves' first year as head coach of the Giants. And like Brian Daboll in his first year, they're going to play a playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
What was the feeling for your ball club going into that game? And, you know, what was the sort of mindset of this team as far as an ability to go win a championship?
Well, it's a playoff game, so, you know, the intensity go up another level when you do that. So we just wanted to go out and play well and get a win. You know, we struggled the first half, but the second half, everything got clicking. The linemen started opening up big holes, and defense was always awesome. So, hey, we just came out with a win.
You know, a couple weeks earlier or a week earlier, I mean, you lost that memorable game against the Cowboys where you could have had the number one overall seed and not had to go to San Francisco in round two. That team really had the look and smell of a championship team. Did you guys feel that you guys could go all the way that year?
Yeah, we did feel that way. We came up short. We lost that close game. They kicked the field goal. The Giants Stadium Dallas beat us, took away that off week that we could have had. But we went to play Minnesota. We won them. I mean, they came to us. We beat them. But the next week, everything just fell apart. You know, we got beat pretty bad in San Francisco. But we had a team. Dan Reeves, he led the team, and from coming out 2 bad years for Ray Handley. So after that, we got it together.
Yeah, and people forget at that point in time, the Giants didn't have an indoor practice facility. And the week of the San Francisco game, right, we got hit with a massive snowstorm. You guys had to bus to Rutgers to practice, right?
Yes, we did. I remember that. Yeah. Then after that, we got a bubble.
Yeah, after that, they got a bubble. So let's talk about this game against the Vikings. They have a 10-3 lead at the half. And then you score on a 51-yard touchdown run. It's an awesome run. Just talk about, you know, the burden that you felt because they were feeding you the rock, and talk about that play in which you went for the 51-yard touchdown to tie the game up and sort of loosen things up a little bit for the team.
Yeah, it did. Like I said, we was down at halftime, and then the second half, we said we're going to stay with the running game. And, you know, the guys up front, they opened up some huge holes, and we caught them with a play, and I went 51 yards with some great blocking for the linemen and Chris Callaway to spring me loose. And after that, everything just started clicking. Defense started making plays, and we got the victory.
You finished the game with 33 carries for 161. You scored the game-deciding touchdown as well. It was a 2-yard touchdown run. Right. Just talk about the confidence, because you and I did an event together in December with Phil Simms and Harry Carson, but right. You told a really good story about, and Phil talked about how much they trusted you. Talk about your trust for Phil.
Oh, we love Phil. I mean, Phil was like, he knew what everybody on the field was doing. So, like I say, when we was in a bad situation, he always put us in the best situation for the best play to happen. So, you know, like I said, I came in my rookie year, and Phil, every time I go off a pass, go out, I'm clapping my hand, woo, woo. And Bill Parcells said, hey, don't do that, rookie. Then Phil Simms say, no, I want him to do it. But Phil told me, hey, you better be open when you clap. Phil was an awesome leader, football player, and most important, he was a great person.
Rodney, in a situation like that, I mean, they fed you the rock, 33 carries in the game. And as I mentioned, 161 yards is what you finished with in the 2 touchdowns. Being that bell cow, obviously, you know, from your college days, feeding you the football, how much of a rhythm were you able to get into as that game started to develop?
Well, you always, like I say, not only the running backs, the linemen like getting into the rhythm. You know, they're like getting dirty and stuff. So we said at halftime, we said we're going to continue to run the ball until something popped. And then we never gave up on the running game. And then, like I say, after that 51-yard touchdown run, everything just opened up and the momentum just switched and we was able to get the win.
Yeah, you mentioned the running back, you mentioned the offensive lineman. In today's NFL where, there's free agency and guys are moving around, I'm looking at the sheet, right? And Bart Oates is still your center. William Roberts, the big dog, is still there at left guard. Cratch is in there at right guard. Riesenberg's playing right tackle. Eric Moore. I mean, you guys had been together for quite a while, and those guys even predated you. Jumbo, that's right, yeah. Jumbo. So it was one of those deals, right, where, I mean, they knew you and you knew them too, right? That had to make it more fun and obviously more effective that you all knew each other so well.
Yeah, it did because, we are, it's like, that's our brothers. We are around each other all the time, at least 10, 12 hours a day. And we have fun on and out the field. So, it was just great. It's always going to be a special bond with me and the guys up front.
Having played, coming to the Giants in 1990 and being a part of it, Giants Stadium had that unique sound to it, that electric sound. When you went on that 51-yard touchdown, I still get goosebumps thinking of how crazy the crowd went. And it was freezing cold that day too. People don't remember how darn cold it was and windy, but that place had some kind of energy that you guys fed off of, didn't it? Yeah,
it was. I mean, the crowd was electrifying, and like I said, it was a big run. But when we out there playing, we don't really hear it. You kind of block everything out. But when you go watch the videos now, you're like, oh, that was pretty cool. The fans cheering and hollering and everything. So, we, like I said, we out there to play and perform and want them to be happy and go home with a win too.
At the time of your retirement, you became the Giants' all-time leading rusher. Just talk a little bit about that too, with this franchise being such a storied franchise. Records are made to be broken, right? And Tiki eventually broke it, and someday his record will get broken. But to have it for that period of time, how much did that mean to you?
I mean a lot, just mean that very consistent, you know what I mean? And like I said, all the credit go to the offensive lineman, but like you say, records get broke all the time, but it did make me feel good. And, then the guy who did it was an excellent running back, Tiki Barber, and I think Tiki got a chance to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he definitely deserves at least consideration. When you watch Saquon Barkley, today's Giants lead dog, what are some of the things that have impressed you about him and the way his game has evolved?
He got all the tools. I mean, he's fast, he's strong. He hitting it up in there this year. So, like I always say, but at the beginning of the year, I say, if he get it in there and keep it to third and short, we got a chance to win games early because we got a quarterback that's mobile that can run, get the first down and keep the ball moving. But Barkley, he can do everything. At first, the first couple of years, I think he would look for the home run all the time. But now this year, he's doing an awesome job.
Let me ask you this, because you were a massive home run hitter when you were at the University of Georgia, and then you get to the NFL, and suddenly you're playing against grown men, guys that have been in the league a long time. They're big, they're strong, they're crusty. How did you learn to take the dirty 2 or dirty 3 and realize that you can't hit a home run on every play like you can in college, where you can run for 220 a lot of the games?
Well, I learned that early. When you see linebackers and linemen almost running you down. So you got this, run in between the tackle and get much as you can. And every now and then you can bounce it, but you better bounce it at the right time. So, and also had OJ and Maurice Carthon, around me. So I learned a lot of little stuff from them guys.
And for the younger fans, back when you played, that's when you wore pads every day in practice. You practiced 2-a-days, and you're going against Carl Banks, Lawrence Taylor, Pepper Johnson, Gary Reasons, Leonard Marshall, that whole group. I guess you learned pretty quickly going full speed in practices of that year that, hey, if I try to bounce it here, and then Mark Collins is coming up and run support, one of the best tackling corners ever, you probably realize pretty quickly that stuff in college ain't working here.
It ain't working. You learn fast. Get ready to get your plane ticket back home. One of the two.
How excited are you to see the Giants back in the playoffs? And I know you don't live in the New York metropolitan area, but you come up a lot. You do a lot of things with the Giants organization as an ambassador. and as a retired Giant, to see them back in and kind of see the way Daboll has brought this collection of parts together.
I'm very excited to see him back, man. I'm happy. As a matter of fact, I'll be up in Long Island somewhere watching a game at a sports bar with the fans. So I'm excited, man, about the game Sunday. But Coach doing a great job. He's a cool coach. You know, when I first met him, he been knowing me his whole life. So, just having a coach like that, the guys enjoy him, and he's easy to play for. And I don't even play no more.
He's a lot of fun to be around. Hamp, we appreciate you taking us down memory lane. The 1993 playoffs, Giants Stadium. Giants beat the Vikings that day 17-10. You had a huge day, including those 2 touchdown runs. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
That's number 27, Rodney Hampton, joining us for this special Papa's Perspective edition of the Giants Huddle podcast, presented by Bob's Discount Furniture. Bob's is back with major style and savings on furniture, mattresses, decor, and more for your home. Shop in store online at mybobs.com. Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store and mattress partner of the New York Giants. I'm Bob Papa for Rodney Hampton. Thanks for watching, everybody.